Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you guys so much for joining for the Power of 8 at 8 Saturday nights, every Saturday night. And we have Eileen here. What's up, Eileen?
Not much. Just chit-chatting with you, getting ready for the show tonight.
Awesome. So you've been enjoying the weather there, but a lot of us are suffering in some of this cold weather.
We had like 80 degrees today, and I was out at an art fair. Like, oh my God, I overdressed for it, and I was hot and windblown and sunburned. I was like, holy moly, I need a little Chicago weather.
I do like the seasons, it's like I would like to live in a climate that's always nice, but I do like the feeling of sort of coming out of that cabin feeling and, the long nights and then, and then that feeling of spring. It's just so needed by the time
The
you start
shifts
getting it.
between each one. What about now? You have some snow now? Do you have
No
any
snow yet.
Not yet.
No, we had tons of rain. But
Well, it's only just like Thanksgiving next week. So, we got plenty of time till Christmas to get that snow in there. Because the one thing that looks weird is the lights outside in Florida. It's like, okay, it's lovely, it's Christmassy, but on palm trees and in bushes and on grass, it's like, no, I need snow.
I hear you there, definitely. Yeah, I love the snow. I even love driving in it. I know some people hate to drive in it, but
I didn't mind. I just went slow.
yeah.
So I was loving on your Orgonite, so you can show people yours. I got one last week, and that's an artist made here in Florida. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that's
A little
beautiful.
sacred geometry, and then in the back, it's just a lot of crystalline metal.
Yeah.
And I did like you. I got turquoise for the throat chakra.
Yeah.
And you got a bit of turquoise in yours. I love the color combination in yours around your neck.
Yeah, here's one that I can actually. Oh, let me switch to my camera. Silly me. I'm showing your camera. Okay, so I got to get it for the right camera. Okay, that's for the viewer's camera.
Okay, cool. I'm thinking maybe a little lapis lazuli, the dark blue, a little bit of turquoise or
There's the
chrysocolla.
front of it.
Yep. And what's down at the bottom? Do you have a little citrine in there? Is there some
I don't
yellow
know.
stone?
There's some yellow in there.
Amber,
There's some.
maybe? A bit of amber?
Yeah, there's red, and I don't know. It's real beautiful though.
Nice color combination.
Yeah.
So they gave you another one because it's cracked. So my puppy got a hold of one and she cracked it too. So I need to toss this because without the pressure on the stone, the metal, and the organic resin, it doesn't work. It has to be under pressure. So once they're cracked and the energy is released inside without pressure, they stop working.
So I wonder how they test them to see if they're working.
I saw a guy do it. That's funny that you should ask. I was
Yeah.
watching Stargate Pyramids. I'm going to buy one. Okay, guys? And then, like, for one of our Saturday night live meditations, I'm going to sit in the pyramid while I do it, and we'll see if we all get beamed up somewhere. It's like the energy is going to be incredible, like crazy, wild energy. And
That's awesome.
Stargate Pyramids on YouTube. He sells the kit for like $300, and there's quartz. What rock has quartz in it? What is it called? Granite. There's quartz and granite ground up in the base of it to give it that extra oomph. And then he just buys one of those cheap meters on Amazon to test EMFs. And then he
you can
puts
get
on
an app too.
Yeah. Oh, an app. So
Yeah.
he's got a meter and he turns on the Wi-Fi and he turns on his phone and he puts the meter on the phone and the Wi-Fi. And then he brings the pyramid in and then he tests the phone and the Wi-Fi and it's like pushed out. It's like 25 feet from the pyramid, you start to get EMFs again.
Wow. So
Yeah, just one big, I mean, that's like a 5-foot pyramid to 7-foot pyramid tall, 3 or 4 feet wide. That'll clear 25 to 30 feet in diameter through walls.
wow. So I wonder how far like something like this one that of course I got this from Terry Pork Chop Gang.
Yep, she
And
makes beautiful argonite.
yeah, I'm wondering if you guys can see it. Let me
I
go full
can,
screen
yeah.
so you guys.
The little
Oh,
peace symbol.
yeah, a little peace symbol, and I'm trying to hold
She
it
made
where
a
I'm not getting
big,
any glare.
beautiful one at Isetti for James.
Yeah, I really love that.
Oh
So
yeah, there's the chain on the bottom, the chain.
yeah.
So I imagine that would do if a large pyramid can do 30 feet, I imagine that could do like 15, 10 or 15 feet. I'm guessing.
Right. Right. Even if it was like 5 foot, it would be enough because I always have it right here around all my electronics here on my
Oh,
desk.
me too. I got a new one from a local lady in an art fair. I've been lots of art fairs this time of year, right, for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And she made one with the lion.
I love that.
Isn't
Oh,
that
Angela
pretty?
would love that.
Yeah, it's got the lion for
Mm-hmm.
the Lion's Gate and the Lyrins, and then it's got turquoise and morganite. Morganite is
Mm.
pink for the heart as well, which is really interesting. Looks like there's some opal in there, some fire opal,
Mm-hmm.
because tonight I condensed my last orb video. I just did an orb video this week because I was experimenting for us
Mm-hmm.
tonight and doing a little research on orbs. Okay, so what I found was that it's possible an orb is a tiny dot of intense energy that's an interdimensional being.
Mm-hmm.
And our air is full of electrified magnetic plasma. So
Mm-hmm.
when they move towards us, they always go towards the camera. They always go towards your face. They come from the ground, move to your face. They never, rarely come the other directions. They're always moving towards you. It could be a point of light that's creating a plasma field around it.
Oh,
You
right.
know how about the Navy showed some of those UAPs
Right,
and they
right.
had a force field around them? Do
Yeah.
you
And you're
remember
really
those?
seeing the force field, but not the actual
You're
cause of
seeing
it.
the force
Right.
field,
Right.
which is the orb, possibly. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that's 100% the answer, but
Right.
a lot of people think that might be what this round plasma field is that we pick up on our cameras.
Mm-hmm.
It's the force field around the interdimensional being, which could be the size of a pinprick,
Right.
but be powerful,
And
moving through.
you know what's interesting about this whole thing is, if you've taken sun pictures as long as I have, you realize that when you're taking the sun picture and you get the lens flare opposite of it, the sun is actually the size of that lens flare, but it doesn't. It looks way bigger, But if you actually tone your camera
Oh,
down, like say there's a
it
an
does look bigger
eclipse.
because of the glow, right?
Exactly. So you're seeing what you're talking about, like the sun's this point of light, but then you're seeing this much larger field around it. But if you tone it down a bunch, or if there is a solar eclipse you're looking at, you'll see the solar eclipse in the orb,
And that
or
is
in
a
the
tiny little thing,
yeah. So
flare, tiny.
the sun is actually that small. And as you tone your camera down more and more, you'll see it shrink down, and it
That's
will
so
actually be the
cool.
size of that. Yeah.
And then why is
So
it always greeny blue? Why is the lens flare on the camera of the sun always kind of a green blue?
yeah, I think it's the coating on the glass or something like
Okay.
that, like the UV coating. Because I noticed when I took my UV lens off of my drone camera that it came
Mhm.
with and tried to put another lens on there, it changed the color of the orb, or not the
Really? To
orb, but
what?
the lens flare.
To what?
It
Like
was just,
orange or red or something?
it was more of like a yellowish pinkish kind of a color or something. So,
Oh, see the
yeah,
transitions and the synchronicity here? Because
yeah,
tonight I've removed the music so we don't get in trouble for not crediting the copyright free musician.
right.
And I'm showing you pink orbs,
Mm,
spectacularly pink. Now
right.
that's new for me because I've had the rainbow orbs. Occasionally they're rare blue orbs, white orbs, yellow orbs.
And you've even got some of the strobing ones, right? I
Yeah,
love the strobing ones
I've
because
got
they're
some of
like,
the strobing
yeah,
ones. They're going wow, wow, wow. They tend to be rainbow when they strobe. If
right.
you slow them on, I do 25% speed,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I can slow them down to,
Right.
and then take still shots of them. That's when they strobe. I tend to get rainbows.
Right.
And when
Like
they're
an
not
iridescence
strobing,
in
I
it. Yeah.
just get pink or blue or white. So, do you want me to show you this? Because I've been doing some investigative research because I've noticed on Dolly's channel, she got me into this. I mean, we did orb pictures occasionally throughout the
Right.
last 2 years,
But she
but
really has fun with it. I like it.
yeah, she does. And I noticed that the more she calls them and the more she works with them, the more they come. Like
Mm-hmm.
all she has to do now is turn on her flash and her video and they'll start arriving. So
It's almost like
I
they're excited that they're getting attention. They're like, "Oh, hey, you want to hang out?"
exactly. Exactly. So I've been doing
Yeah.
some experiments in my little apartment and I noticed in the kitchen one or two, no orbs. Living room huge, one or two. Not much activity. Hallway one or two, front door, one or two. And then I get back to this sideboard that's over 200 years old from England that a friend gave to me and my husband who passed on.
Mm-hmm.
I have rocks and crystals on there. I've got pictures of my dad who passed on, my mom who passed on, my husband who passed on, and then I've got our family who's alive mixed
Right. So
in
it's like
with
a
them.
shrine with current, yeah. And
Yeah,
then the
it's
wood. If you think about wood absorbing energy and stuff, and it's
organic, right?
right. So think
Okay.
about if that furniture is that old, how old was the tree it came from? I mean, you
Thank
might be
you.
looking at centuries and centuries of.
Exactly. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking this up, trying to do a little research for us here. And what I found is that antiques can create portals, which make it easier for orb or multidimensional energy to come through. So
Mm.
I've got this antique here creating a portal. Guess what else creates a portal?
What is it?
Meditating in the same place. That's in Lynn's book. And
Oh.
she did a video on it recently with Anita Morjani. And they said, make your meditation place sacred by doing it in the same place every day so that the energy of the space changes. Now
Mm.
you're creating a portal of higher frequency energies. So this is really funny. I sit here right on top of this sideboard every Saturday night for 2 years with you guys doing
Right.
live meditation. So I have the portal of our Power of Eight at 8 happening in this spot,
Yeah.
and I have the portal of that old wood.
Don't you also have that sacred geometry that you got from
Yeah, but
my
that's like
friends?
across the room. I'm spinning that 20 feet away because
Yeah.
there's a plug over there,
Well,
you
what
know?
about the one you can hold and speak through or
Yeah, I
whatever? Is
don't
that
even have that around me. That's across the room on a salt lamp with the sacred geometry from Gail
right?
and
Right.
Gregory Hogue, who
Hogue.
come on
Yep.
here. We got to have them on again and give us another sacred geometry lesson, which creates a unified field. So that unified field is like when we're like meditating together and attaching our hearts and our minds and our intention, they're helping with the unified field,
Mm-hmm.
making that connection. But
Right.
maybe I didn't think of that. Maybe that's a triple whammy. And that's why you guys are going to be amazed at my second, like, what's the word? My second orb video on purpose. So there's no special effects. My special effects on my free KindMaster app, I do it on my Android, is you can slow things down or speed them up and you can capture pictures of your video.
Mm.
Do you ever do that? Get little pictures out of your video?
Right. Yeah.
So there's no color enhancement, there's no I think
Filters or anything. It's
no
just
filters, but I
just
did
slowed
zoom
down.
in. I can
Right.
zoom
Zoomed
in
in
on
easy.
them. Once I capture them into a still, you
Mm-hmm.
can go in and really see what's inside the orb, but no filters.
Very nice. All
So should
right,
we go,
yeah, let's do it.
should we
Let
go
me.
ahead and do
I'm
it?
gonna go full screen so that you can. Now you'll be able. They'll see your mouse if you want to point anything out or anything like that
And you
too. I
too,
think.
will you be able to see it and comment
Yes,
on it?
yes, I'll be able to see it too,
So you
and
tell
it
me
won't
if
be
you
delayed. So that'll be
that's
the good
super
thing.
cool. Apparently, if Shane played it tonight, it would be delayed. We'd have that 7-second delay
Right.
between you, me, and the video.
Right. So well, actually, it's more like 15 or 20 by
Is
the
it that
time it
long?
gets
Is that
to
what happens on
YouTube.
Friday nights? You get a really long delay?
Well, that's just using that the talk program, TalkShoe. It's just I don't know. It just takes a long time for some reason.
Because I noticed you got more delay than we get. We get a little bit of delay when there's more of us. Like, does the delay increase when you have more guests?
I think it just depends on each person's connection.
Here we
The
go.
shameless plug for our book,
Oh,
Mandela
yes.
Effect, for your
Yes. And
folks.
Shane's layout because it's on my PC. Now, I brought up the video on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So, am I going to actually be able to find it? I bet it's right there, right? Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Here we go, guys. Now, should I make this full screen or not
Yeah,
when I
I'm
play it
gonna
back?
kill my camera because it's a little bit glitchy. You have to make it smoother, and then I'll bring it back when you're done.
Do you want
Okay.
me to make it full screen too by hitting this little box down here?
Yeah,
You
because
sure?
Yep, definitely.
Will I still be able to hit play?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, guys, here's the living room, and you're going to see one orb. This is not an orby space. There's no portal here, even though I have a selenite lamp, a salt lamp, and a piece of what you're looking at there is Metatron's cube from Gail and Gregory Hoag's store, Sacred Geometry. What was it called, the store? Metaforms
Metaforms.
in Lyons, Colorado. They made that for us. They sell it in their store too. And it's a Metatron's cube that kind of like helps sync our energies. So here we go. I'll just hit play. There'll be no sound. And what I'm doing is I'm singing, but I'm sparing you guys my acapella. I'm singing Bali High from South Pacific. Uh-huh. Look at the orbs there. Did you guys catch the pink one?
Yeah, that's it on the edge there.
That is so pink. It's right by my right side. If you look at the camera, it's off the camera because it's at my right elbow. Do you guys see, like, I know these are kind of flying through, so that's how fast they are. Zoom, zoom. That's slow speed. And now there's the pink one. I'm like, look at that.
That is. It's so pink.
It's so
And it's like
pink.
heart energy, right?
Yeah, love, heart energy. So I'm like, do I know this orb? Like, is this a family member coming to see me? Now, if I can put a pause, that's a little pinky. You see a little pink?
It almost looks like a double orb to me, like two that's right by each other. Does it
It
not
does look
look
like
like
a
that to you?
double.
Oh,
Or
okay.
is it
Yeah.
moving? And I capture, would I catch that
Yeah.
out of movement or would that be a double?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Here. That's very, why did you, oh, it's because I'm not Shane. You guys, just bear with me. I don't see anything in there in terms of sacred geometry. That one's so thick.
Yeah, it's almost opaque. Yeah.
It's almost opaque. But you can see it's off screen because it's at my right elbow. I'm sitting on the camera. I'm sitting on the table. I'm taking a picture of the sideboard. I'm singing to it. Cockeyed Optimist, Bali High. I put like South Pacific music on behind me on the TV and just started singing to the orbs. And they definitely come out when you sing to them.
Wow.
And then I see some sacred geometry in there. I'll just show you what I see. I
Yeah,
see
I almost see it.
triangle. Do
Yeah.
you see triangles?
Yeah, I see a triangle there. That's what I was thinking.
Were you thinking that too? I
Yep.
see a square. Do you guys see the square?
Oh, yep, I sure do.
So that's what we were just looking at in Metatron's cube is a combination of squares and triangles.
It's
So
almost like I see towards the bottom right, like a Merkaba or whatever you call the two triangles that overlap, sort
where
of like
here?
right in there, that smaller one right there. It's
Yep,
like,
I see the point. I see the point,
yeah,
and I
because it
see the
almost looks like
point.
the what they call David, Star of David,
Star
sort of.
David,
Yeah.
point, point, point.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, is that a double orb there? Is there a baby there?
Right. Yeah.
What do you think? You think maybe that's another orb right there, that little guy?
That'd be wild. What if it's like your grandparents flying around together or something, visiting?
Yeah. So I'm like, this is amazing to me. Number one, that you can call them by singing or talking to them. Number two, that you can create portals where they become extremely active.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have to do is put on your video with a full-time flash, 100% never going off the flash, and
Mm-hmm.
you will just capture the plasma around whatever they are. But I don't see a dot. I see another little triangle inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good thing I took the sound off. Okay, there's the double one. We saw that. Okay, I don't know what to make of this, but this part of the hardware behind it. Can you see the hardware?
Yeah, but why does it look like the orb is outlining the hardware? See how there's a little gap between where the hardware ends and where the orb seems to get more opaque again? Like, I don't
I
know, sort
do.
of that half
Uh,
moon shape.
and I kind of see a face and ears, but it's over the
Oh,
hardware. It's over the hardware, so
oh,
I'm not
right.
sure
Yeah.
if it's a little smiley face with hair.
Yeah.
And there's a
It's the
dot
hair that
there.
I felt was, yeah.
Oh, this hair, the shadow.
Yeah, it seems like it looks like the orb gets thin where the hardware, not even with the hardware though.
It
You know what I
does.
mean?
It
Like,
does get
yeah.
thin. And then what about this triangle above it? Can you guys see the triangles?
Mm-hmm.
So There's a point of light. Is that the interdimensional being? Is that point of light? And then when somebody said they make this circle of plasma by moving through our electrified air,
Mm-hmm.
by moving, the friction of moving through it creates the circle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not an orb expert, but I'm trying to become one to learn more about them. Is that moving? Yep. Now, this is just like a normal, I don't know how to get this bar off. Maybe touch that. No. It's just like a normal white one. What do you think?
Yeah.
We saw a lot of that at ESETI. Do you remember
Oh,
that
you can
white?
see the little shine on the hardware down there. I think that might have been what we saw in the previous
Oh,
image.
is that the shine that we were looking at? I think you're right. Or maybe this shine here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Let's. Oh, I guess you can't go. I keep feeling like you're looking through images, but that one looks like it's stretched, so it's like moving
This,
really
yeah,
fast,
we
doesn't it?
saw, oops, what happened? Okay, there. We saw a lot of that at ESETI. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Capturing those big white cloudy orbs that look like a tic tac, a giant tic tac.
Yeah. And you know what was strange is people had older cameras, and it was able to capture. It looked completely different. It looked like these colorful balls everywhere,
They
where
look
we
like
were seeing.
colorful balls everywhere, but our modern cameras made them look like little white tic tacs or big
Yeah. Yeah.
white tic tacs. Okay, so moving on. I don't know. That's a pink one. I don't really see much inside of it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of multi-layered. Like there's stuff in there. Look at the pink there. Look at this little bit here. What do you think? I don't really see a face. Oops, it moved. I just went into it
I
super.
almost see a face on that one.
Do you? Is it here? Eye, nose, and mouth, or something else like
Yep.
eye,
Exactly. That's how I was thinking. And a big
nose,
nose, and then the
and a
mouth.
big
Yeah.
mouth?
Exactly.
Yep,
Yep.
yep, yep.
It's wild.
What if the faces are something they can project, that they're just a point of light, but they can in the plasma field that surrounds them, they can project little faces and triangles and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a little hologram.
Like a little hologram.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. I wish I could move this. Oh, I think I can.
Oh, Rita's saying that they have a Wi-Fi camera where they pick up little orbs zooming through their living room too. I
Really?
think they're always there. You know, we
I
just
think
don't
they're
pay
always
attention.
there. I think they're always there. But look at this triangle. Do you see this? Flat, like
Mm-hmm.
a TR3B, pink. Because what happened to the rest of the orb? It just kind of broke up.
And look at the like at the top of the triangle. That looks like one of those little
Here.
Pac-Man ghosts popping up. No, or like right at the top of the darker triangle at towards the bottom.
Oops, wait, it's moving. Stop moving. Okay, where should I go? Tell me where.
Well, I
There?
can point it out here. It's like right here, and it's got an eye, and sort of a triangle. Eye, and mouth, I should say, in a triangle shape. I
Oh,
guess you can
show.
watch it on the replay.
Okay, I'll watch it on the replay because I'm like,
Yeah.
where? Eye, nose, mouth. Am I
No, it's
close?
much smaller than that. Yeah,
Okay. Much
it's
in
really
here
small.
I see it. Eye, nose, mouth.
Oh, yep, I see one there too. Yeah,
Oh, I see the triangle you're talking about. There?
it's wild. Actually, the bottom
Wow.
right dot of that triangle is
Yep.
actually the top left of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So,
So we're
yeah.
getting, oh, I see it now.
And
Nose,
mouth.
mouth.
Yeah, yeah,
I see it
exactly.
now. It's like a Pac-Man and it's missing its little mouth here. See?
Right. Yep.
Oh, I see the Pac-Man now. Okay. So this one is interesting because it's so like see-through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so keep playing. They're very pink though, aren't they? Very okay. One blue one. There we go.
Yeah.
We get a nice blue one after all those pink orbs. And I do see a little face here too, but the human brain always tries to see faces. But I do see a face right there. Nice
Yeah.
smiley one. So what do you make of that blue one? I don't see any triangles in there.
No, but you know what it does look like is those
What?
marbles that have sort of that mandorla shape in the middle of them. You know, where they put sort of a 3D looking,
Yes.
layered looking. I don't know.
Stripe. And it
Yeah.
goes through it and makes like
Mm-hmm.
a circle at one end, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking at it from the end, it would create maybe a star pattern, but from the side, it's like an eye shape. You know, like a
It's
football shape.
actually, you're right. It is like an eye shape right there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Right? And a little Merkaba, pointy things coming off of it.
Yeah.
I love
And
that
and
one
even
blue
out
one.
of even out away from it, you can see the plasma is really thin out there, and it's still like the orb's got its own glow to it. You know what I mean?
It does. And I'm seeing faces, but that's human nature. Like I
Oh
can
yeah,
look at a
the
rug
whole
in the bathroom where my feet are, and I will pick up faces in my rug, and I know
yeah
that those aren't orbs.
yeah.
So you see the face there
Mm-hmm.
and the mouth.
Yeah, cute little face too. Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
see them
not
in the
scary.
soap bubbles and everything. So
Yeah, I see them in shower curtains and
yeah.
clouds.
Wood
So,
grain
okay.
is another one. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of old wood grain where we're picking up these orbs. Now, that's inside one. I just thought we'd zoom in. That's inside of kind of a pinky golden one.
Yeah.
So I don't see much in there, which tends to make me think that maybe it is just creating a plasma field of energy around
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Now Jennifer sees an owl, but that's
Oh,
delayed, so
where?
it might have been on the one before. It's
Oh,
probably the
okay.
one
And the
before.
blue one, you saw an owl in the blue one, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer? I'll go back and look at this. There we go. This is a normal orb for our community, for Shane and me, for all the orbs we've picked up everywhere. You just get a see-through bubble and it goes from like, doesn't it go from like green to pink,
Yeah.
from like blue
Very
to,
3D looking too. You can see at the edges it gets more opaque, like you're looking through
I can
it.
see
You
right
know, it
through it. You
looks more
see
like a
that? That's,
ball.
that's like
Yeah.
the wall, right?
Yeah.
This is like a record player I have for doing, I haven't done it in ages, but converting CDs to and records, no, records and cassettes to CDs.
And before that,
So,
you were DJing at rave parties, right?
yeah, never, never. I'm barely being able to run this screen here.
You were scratching and stuff. Come
I was
on.
scratching. There we go. DJ Eileen. There we go. I went inside of it. You can see the record player down here.
Hmm.
Okay. Getting there, guys. We're almost done. It's only a 3-minute video, but I keep pausing it. Here we go. Slow mo.
That's
That's
the one
kind of,
that's strobing.
it's strobing. I think it's pink.
Yeah, but I love how it looks like it's appearing and disappearing and appearing and disappearing. I love that.
This is played at 25% speed of all that fast activity I showed you oh, there's a pink one.
Yep, it's
Look at the
changing.
baby one coming
Yeah,
across the
the
table, and I'm
table.
sitting at the table. Sorry
So
about the
cool.
pee pads. They're clean. They're just in case. Oh, there we go. One from down there, pink.
Yep, and it's iridescent too. You can see it changing from pinks to blues, and yeah, it's cool.
So that one's kind of clear, but a little pinky. Yep, there's some pink.
Hmm.
I see triangles in it as it
I
moved.
almost saw a face in there for a second.
Did you? Should we go
Yeah, I
back
see it
and?
right there. Yeah.
Oh, is this it? Is this the same one?
No, it was more over to the right,
Okay,
but that's
this one
okay.
splits into two.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this is just on KindMaster. I don't know why it's stopgap, but it's 25% speed. I see the face.
Yeah. See it there? It's even there. I
I
think you
did. I'm sorry.
paused it right on it.
I don't think I'm very good at this. I think you're better.
No, you're perfect.
Okay. So should I just let it go? Because that one's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can let it
white
go.
and getting big. Now watch a little one come through it. There we go.
Yeah. Just
Did it
popped out
just
of the.
give birth to that little baby, or did it just go through it?
Did we just watch an orb birth? That's beautiful.
I don't believe it. Oh my God, this is too funny. Very pink. I had a pink orb party singing songs from South Pacific. Those two almost look connected. Don't you think? They're like flying, like tandem.
Hmm.
Th-
Wow.
Okay,
Did you say how that
that's
one was
repeated.
green for a second?
Yeah, watch. I repeat it 3 times on 25% speed. That's two. Here comes three. Oh, there we go. Rainbow orb.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the orb party, the orb show. If you guys want to play with orbs and get to know your orbs, sing to them, draw artwork for them, talk to them, and kind of like find your own portals. Like, where do you meditate every Saturday night? Do you always sit in the same spot? Probably. I got to find you. Here we go. Stop sharing. Did you want me to get out of this now because we got to see it all?
Sure. Yeah.
So, like, does everybody sit in one spot every Saturday night? Now, what do I do to get you back? Oh, I got to get out of this full screen. So can you see me? And I'm
Yep.
going to see you. There we go.
Yep, you are back.
Yes.
Oh, let's see here. Rita says, before daybreak today, I saw 7 craft move quickly across the sky, the size of a star. 2, then 1, then 2, and 2 again. Bright stars and moon, then a jet with blinking lights as usual. And probably wondering what the heck it is. Let's go see. That's so funny because my son just the
And
other
you have
day, we
video
were
of
sitting
it?
there and he's like, I just saw a white orb move really quickly across the whole room. It started right there and it went out of sight all under a second. He said it was, and that's
It's
a
so, they're
12 year
so
old.
fast.
That's so we're all beginning to see him, and I think
This
just judging
community's
by,
starting to see them. Yeah.
I think everybody is, but a lot of people just play it off as or think it's maybe a bug
Dust.
flew by
They're like,
or
oh, what was that?
anything. You know what I mean? Yeah, because you just don't tend to pay much attention. Maybe a little fuzzy flew by or something, but he said it was moving so fast. And now when I watch him play video games, he is so quick. I can't even tell what he's doing. So
What, when he's playing? He's like, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
he's got it going so quick, and he's doing everything so fast that you can tell his brain's like super hyper.
He's in the zone. He's in
He's
the
in the
zone that
zone.
she talks about where you just automatically like everything you're in slow-mo.
Exactly, it slows time down for you because your brain speeds up, and that's what appears to be happening. But he was able to see it move right across the room. I was sitting there right with him, and I didn't see it, but he
Really?
saw
He
it
saw
move right
it?
across the room. Yeah. I said, "What color was it?" He said, "It was like a white ball, just flew right across the room."
There you go.
Like
They're usually
yeah,
white. Now, that is not dust. That is pink. That is,
right,
dust is not pink.
right.
And it's not a circle of plasma. Dust, I filmed dust before, and especially when sunlight fills the room, it's helter skelter. It goes all over. It goes left, it goes right, it goes up, it goes
Mm-hmm.
down. Have you noticed that
Yeah.
about dust?
Yeah, and a good thing to do that I do with my camera is instead of looking at the screen when I'm recording, I'll like look at my phone from the side, like I hold it like this, where I see the
Oh,
light,
you
and then
see
I
the
can
lights.
see if there's any dust
And you
in
see
there.
dust particles like left, right, up, down, like
Right,
chaotic.
right. So if you don't see any dust there, but
And
you're
the
picking something
orbs are
up,
coming up towards you,
right?
heading for your body. It's like we attract the orbs. They always head straight for your camera screen, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're just coming out. They're not really coming
Or
out of,
spiraling and playing with you. They'll like,
yeah,
seem like
flipping.
they're just corkscrewing or whatever the term is. Let's see. Roger says, I'm seeing white raindrops. You will see them soon.
White raindrops. So when you're watching um,
Is that in
rainfall
the rain?
outside, Roger, you see the white in the actual drops.
That's interesting. Because, see, that would look more like
Is that
what.
Roger Prescott?
Mm-hmm.
He's doing miraculous things with air, ether, and water.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
I would imagine you could see things that we're not quite seeing yet.
yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
Like he can sit there and record himself, go to his channel. You have an opportunity now just to right mouse click his icon and you can go to his channel and you can see like he'll be meditating and praying, and then the lights will just grow and contract and grow and contract. And you've seen that, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We showed that when he was on. So, yeah, that's really amazing. And, but what I'm wondering is because of the way Rita was able, she's got the game camera out there and it's caught these sort of beams coming down.
Oh,
I'm
I
wondering
can't
if
wait to
that's,
see it. Are we
I'm
going to
wondering
go
if
on her
that's the,
channel and see it tonight? Did you
we
want to?
showed it on here. I don't know, like quite a while ago.
The
Yeah,
one that
these
she
are.
captured tonight, though, did she capture those tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
if she captured them. But the ones I was talking about look like beams coming down, and I'm wondering if it could be what Roger's talking about. No,
Well,
just drops, he said.
okay, drops. We got the beams coming down at Isetti. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what those were. They're not quite orby looking,
But they were on the older cameras because on
but
the
they
older
were on
cameras,
the older cameras. They were orby.
right?
But in
Yeah,
our
that's right.
cameras, they were beams of light.
And I think maybe that just has to do with the newer cameras leaving the shutter open to allow more light in, maybe, where the
So
older
you
cameras
capture
maybe
it
didn't
as
do that.
a rod
Yeah, so you're seeing it as a
instead of
rod
a
rather than,
circle.
yeah, yeah.
Fascinating. These are
Mm-hmm.
my first pink ones, guys. And I was like, oh my God, the pink is so beautiful. It's so loving. It's like rose quartz. And I'm like, because I'm singing and I'm with furniture that's very old that had meaning to us, am I calling in interdimensional guides? or dead loved ones that mean something to me, that have, like, aren't just random orbs.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's could be so many different things, but it's
Especially
fascinating.
that pink fluffy one that was hanging right by my right elbow. So I had my camera. I'm sitting here at the table facing that way, getting this Welsh dresser. Yeah, a couple hundred years old. It's old. It's got all its original, what's that called? The metal stuff.
Hardware.
Hardware.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there with my hand on the table, because then I can do steady filming instead of shaky filming. And it just came up to my right elbow, kind of like got in the camera and then exited. Just so I was like, nope, I'm not going in front of the camera. I'm just going to look or peek around the corner,
But we got
right?
a little peek of it. Yeah, Michelle says, I don't know what it is, but they're beautiful.
Oh, which Michelle is that?
Awaken, activate. Michelle.
Hello,
Michelle's
Michelle.
opinions.
Yeah, she had some amazing pink images from Iseti. And then she went into them and found all kinds of faces and lions and just, amazing things in your pink room. I think she called it her pink room because there was so much pink and a bit
Hmm.
of blue. There's some blue in there too. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I just wanted to share the pink orbs because I'm experimenting. I've been inspired by Dolly. And, she just calls them to her. She's just like talking to her people. And then she's like, oh, here comes one. Here comes one. Oh, and Jen's Gems. I mean, come on. We all know Jen. And she's been filming orbs, and Dead GPK. They've been filming orbs for years.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, there's Dead GBK. He's in here too.
Hey, Dead, I was talking about your orb. I remember seeing one like float over a record player and play with your dogs or your cats like 2 or 3 years ago, right? Do you remember that? His orb captures?
Now, I especially like the strobing one because it seems like, when you're at ESETI and they have those power ups, it seems like it's doing this power up thing as it flies across the screen. I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
And it looks like a flipping coin. Don't you think like it's flipping over, but maybe it's not? Maybe it's just powering up.
Right. It
Maybe
almost
it's not
disappears
flipping.
between them.
Maybe it disappears between them.
Or, like you were saying, how they're really just a point. Maybe it's sort of expanding
Well,
to a
that's what I
size we can
read.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it came from like a quantum approach to orbs, and
Mm,
saying, that plasma that you're seeing might just be like the halo around a sun, the halo around the moon, and the
mm-hmm.
actual interdimensional being might not be more than a point of light, that minuscule,
Right.
which makes total sense to me. Oh, and I do have to apologize. I did put it in the comment last week, guys. I went back and I finished the documentary. So I do have to say, I will never sit on this show with Shane and go, I've watched half a documentary and I think it's crazy and Mandela affected. Because at the end, they said they found the rock, the slab that Jesus's body that you and April were talking about last night. That was such a cool show, April. I really enjoyed it. I woke up in the middle of the night and just listened to the whole thing. And Jolie was on. When they opened it up, they're like, "Oh, there it is, the slab that was Jesus's last resting place."
Mm,
So my brain, when they were looking for Jesus's last resting space in the sepulchral church, thought they're looking for his body, last
mm.
resting place, body. But I was totally wrong. All they
Oh,
wanted
okay.
was the slab. They just wanted the rock.
Oh, okay. So there was no body then.
There was no body, and they were happy. But what there was on top of the slab, under the sepulchre church where they have the shrine of Christ, was a, what's that called? That cross that's like an X instead of a Jesus cross.
Oh,
Knights
Maltese?
Templar,
Okay.
Maltese. They
Hmm.
found a Maltese or Knights Templar cross carved onto the slab. So they just think the
Mm.
Crusaders like were told, here is where Christ's last resting place was for his body. And so they just carved like, which kind of seems like
Mm.
graffiti if you ask me. They just carved their mark on it.
Yeah. Now, was there
right?
any stains or anything? Because it seems like they'd be able to like line it up with the Shroud of Turin and the blood stains on that, and line it up and say, yeah, this is for sure.
No,
Like,
they never went that deep. They just kind of found a layer above it that was symbolized by the Knights Templar or the Maltese, whoever the Crusaders were. And they kind of X marked the spot, and then they left it at that and covered it up.
all right,
So they didn't go deep enough. Maybe on purpose. Maybe they like, if we just keep pushing further and further and further, we might find out, oh no, this is not his last resting place. And we don't want
but
to ruin the church.
right now, is that the same place that you said that they could go in there with candles and the candles would be lit
Well,
automatically, or was that somewhere
wow.
else?
If I had watched the whole documentary before opening my mouth last week, the one they went into was the public one with a lot of holes and a lot of catacombs for burying people.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, they said that this is a private one. And you told me it was a rich person, Joseph of Arimathea, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So again, you know your Bible stories. And they said, well, this is a little bit different than the one we took you in. It's a long documentary. It's on National Geographic. It's called the Secrets of Christ's Tomb. Fascinating.
Sounds fascinating.
Fascinating. And so I did put a comment in going, oh, well, I spoke too soon. They weren't really looking for his body. They were just looking for the rock.
Right.
But a Mandela effect for me still is the ceremony of Christ's flame.
Right.
We don't know about that in the West, but every Easter day they go in there and they have been lighting Christ's flame from Christ for either 1200 years or since 1200 AD. I can't remember. It was a British newspaper article on it.
Right.
And it said that this is a huge tradition with the Eastern Orthodox Church. So the Western Church just kind of ignores it and goes, we're
Right.
not going to pay attention to that miracle every
Right.
Easter, right?
Yeah. Now, I watched a special, like, I don't know, it's probably on Discovery Channel or something a while back, and they were talking about how they would use science in a lot of these sort of temples and stuff way back then. So the priests would show up and they would light these torches. But what you didn't realize is the torches were heating up these bowls of water, and then the steam would move these pistons that would pull this rope and open the doors. So it appeared to be something supernatural, like God opened the door and allowed the priest
Was
in.
that in Greece, and was it with a saint? And
I
was
don't.
it
I just know
no?
it was a trick that they pulled off, like in the early days, and I don't even remember if it was supposed to be Yahweh or some other god or something, but it
Well,
was more about the science of it rather
yeah,
than
more about the science, because that was really
yeah.
important for a big cathedral to have a relic and
Hmm.
say, this is a piece of the cross. Of
Right.
course it wasn't. And this is a piece of Jesus's,
Or the
left
power of
shin.
God is here, and He will
Yeah,
open the doors at a certain time, and
they
then
had to have relics, right?
right, yeah,
So I was in Corfu town on Corfu, the island, with my daughter 10 years ago. And we were in the big cathedral there where they have a saint. They have a saint buried there. And we don't speak Greek. So we went in, it was around Easter,
yeah,
and we went in this tiny little room. And in front of us was this amazing coffin with like a lot of silver applique, beautiful. And
mm,
then before I knew it, a bunch of priests came in long robes to the ground and big hats. They closed the door and locked us and my daughter in with them, and they
hmm,
opened it up. And there was the saint's body, the remains. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Do we kneel? Do we pray? Oh my God, they should not have locked us in. We are tourists. We have no idea what's appropriate right now in front of a saint's body. They were so kind. They actually pretended like we weren't there. They just ignored us. We were invisible. And, I think my daughter's like 8 and she's going, oh my God, what is going on? There's a dead mummy skeleton in front of me. And it was like, 3 feet in front of us. And it
mm,
was amazing. I feel blessed. I guess I must have been really blessed to see the saint who
yeah,
was buried in the cathedral in Corfu town.
uh,
And he's been there, a long time. And I don't know his name. I'm very sorry. I think I did at the time, but I've just forgotten. There's so many saints.
yeah. So we had let's see, there was I don't know, there was like an emergence of a bunch of videos. I want to say 2016, 2017 of them finding giants tombs. and everybody's got their cell phones, and and I guess it's supposed to be these Anunnaki giants.
I've
Whatever's
seen
come of that? Does
pictures.
that?
I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
Well, yeah, I've seen pictures and videos. You can
I'm
actually
like,
see.
is this more secure Team 10? I have no idea if what I'm looking at is real or not. I would go to you and say, Shane, am I looking at something real or is this CGI'd? I don't know.
It's hard to know.
I mean, I'm a
And then
believer. I'm on the fence,
right, and then
right?
there's been other times that they say that they're in stasis and that they can wake up and everything, and I don't know. It's really interesting to think that they have that sort of thing. There was actually a story going around where a team of I want to say Marines went in somewhere and this giant like killed like half the team, and
I
he was
heard of
like,
that. And
yeah.
isn't that guy dead now? That's not, no, Bob Lazar is alive, right? And the guy went down and he had a fight with aliens below ground. Is that the one you're talking
Well,
about?
no, this was in like Kandahar in Afghanistan or something
Oh,
like
okay.
this during the Afghani war, and I guess like some of their guys came up missing, so they sent in like a team of 6 to go find them, and they smelled this awful smell, and this giant comes out the cave with red hair. He's like 12 foot
They
tall or
always have red
something,
hair, don't they? They're like
and they're
Celts.
shooting him, and it's not doing anything because he's just so big and bulky. And
So I
um,
guess the question would be, are they like cicadas and the giants come cyclically every 2,000 years? They wake up.
right,
I don't know.
yeah, who knows?
I
It's
wouldn't want to piss
interesting
one
though.
off, though. I'd be like, hi, how are you?
Right.
We're on the good team.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know. This is the amazing thing is now we don't know what to believe anymore because the world is so miraculous and the Mandela effect is just knocked all of us on our butts basically when it comes to understanding our world, and now we're figuring it out again. Now everything is possible.
Yeah, there was a video that was recommended that I was just telling you about now that's showing deep fake videos, and
Oh yeah, yeah. Can you explain that to everybody?
it's let me see if I can just share my screen and just show you what it looks like without really
It
playing
is.
it.
You're out of your mind.
Whoops. Okay, so let me share my screen because I just came across this and I'm like, wow, it looks so real. Share screen, go here, share, and then I'm going to pull this up here. Okay, so here I'm going to mute it or whatever. Here we have Tom. Let's see. Let me go full screen for you guys. Okay, here we have Tom Cruise, talking or whatever. All of these, none of these are really who they appear to be. These are all. This
None
is
of them.
all. This is all computer generated. And it looks like they're really sitting there talking. This is I can't remember who this. Oh, Lucas,
It was
George
kind of a
Lucas.
skinny George Lucas, yep, and Michael Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like him. That does not really look like his body because he's a
No,
pretty
it doesn't. That's why I'm wondering if you have to have a model sit in and then it just sort of overlaps
the
the
face.
person. Yeah, that's what it looks like because that doesn't look like his body, and none of the bodies look right to me. Like, but it really looks like he's talking. You know.
So this looks like a round table with those people, except for Tom Cruise looks a little bit odd too, doesn't he? He looks
Yeah, they all
younger.
look
He looks
odd, but you
younger.
wouldn't think anything about it if you weren't looking at it suspiciously like we are.
No, no. If I wasn't examining like their face, their hair, their body type,
Yeah.
I think this was real. This is all fake.
Yeah, it's 100% fake. That's what they're called, deep
It's
fake
almost got a
videos.
million views.
Yeah, and it just came out the 11th, November
That
11th.
that George Lucas looks like a cross from Greer. Richard Gere. How do you say his name? Richard
Yeah,
Gere
Richard
and,
Gere.
and George Lucas.
Oops. Let's see if I can bump that back a little bit.
He's got
Yeah.
like his face. It's too small.
Right, his head's too big for his body, but it could be the way he's sitting there too.
That's
But
true.
yeah, he's
I
but the
remember when they were
movements and
warning
stuff.
us about this, and they said, soon you won't know if anybody that you see talking, except for me and Shane and all of the people in our community here, we know we're real, right? We think,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but you won't know if any celebrity is actually real and really saying those things.
Yeah. So I just thought it'd be, don't always trust what you see. I mean, it could look like I think the first one I saw was Obama saying really funny, ridiculous stuff, and I was like, "What is this?
Yeah, I think I
Why is
saw
he
George
saying that?"
Bush saying weird things.
Right? Yeah, but it wasn't real,
It
And
wasn't
then
real. It
then
was a
there's
computer
another
program.
video with Kanye where it looks like there's this, California king size bed with all these celebrities in the bed with him, and they really aren't there. I mean, it was just completely fake, you know.
Yeah, I think I saw the Kanye one, George Bush and Obama. I guess it must have been around 2012 to 2016 that they were bringing out these videos to show us that soon we won't know what our reality is.
But how
We'll
long have
think
they
it's
been doing
real.
it? If it's just now getting to us, and if that's the technology the common folks have, what could they possibly,
Possibly for 100 years, possibly for 50 years, right?
Yeah, it's wild, wild stuff. So I don't know.
If you
Trust
sit on
your
the fence, it
intuition,
doesn't
you
matter
guys.
because you don't believe anything and you don't discount anything. Everything's possible and
Yeah.
nothing is real. Nothing's true. Bye,
On
guys.
a side note, interesting that Ancestry.com found out that Tom Hanks is related to Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers. They
That's
are
insane.
sixth. They're sixth cousins. So
I mean, I believe
their
it. That's
their
a
great
crazy
great great
coincidence.
great great grandfather that came over from Germany
I
are
believe
the
it.
same. Yeah.
I believe it. Aren't we
Yeah.
supposed to all be related to Kevin Bacon some way? Six steps removed. We're somehow we all know Kevin Bacon. Do you remember that?
No, no, I didn't know about that. That's funny though, because they always do the Kevin Bacon. There was a Kevin Bacon game. I didn't know what it was, but it was like, how do you connect all the stars through Kevin Bacon? Because he's played with so many different people that,
It would be
you
six
know,
steps away. Everybody
yeah.
would be related 6 steps away from Kevin Bacon. He seemed to like it. He seemed to like that. That they were making a big deal about it.
And I
Uh,
love bacon, so
wrong kind of bacon. Oh God, didn't you see like that 12-year-old girl on a video come out with a piece of paper behind her where she showed how all the presidents except for like two were related.
right.
I mean, that's a little girl coming out and
Hmm.
saying, if you trace it back far enough, they're all of the same blood except for two. I can't
Which
remember
were they?
which two they were.
Oh, okay.
One was like Taft,
Right.
and I
Yeah,
don't
I
really know
remember her
much about
coming out with
Taft.
it because it was before the 2016 election, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
which one of these is Trump or Hillary related?
Oh
Because
yeah,
that
Obama
would
was
be nice to
related to
know.
Bush, and Bush was related to the
Right.
Clintons, and they all go back to like King James of Scotland, who was the
Hmm.
crazy king from
Yeah.
inbreeding. Do you remember? Wasn't he crazy? Wasn't James a crazy
Mm,
one?
I'm not a history buff.
I think so.
I do know that John Kerry. It came out that John Kerry was related back then, so he's also, even though he never became president, he ran for
Was
president. So
Cheney related? Now we're getting into like we're going to get in trouble on this broadcast. We're saying the wrong words.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's and I guess you go far enough back, we're all related, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, we're all related. Although they say that the aliens might have been in here with their petri dishes, mixing things up a little bit. So I'm kind of related.
Right.
Some of us might come from nearby
Yeah.
star systems. That's kind of related. We're all in the same solar system.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool to think I think we all have alien DNA,
I do
probably.
too, especially in this community. I feel like we're empaths. I know that. We're creative. We know that. We're starseed. We're light workers.
Yep.
I feel like there's just this little family connection coming through here in our community.
Yeah.
We like recognize each other. Even in our comments, we know exactly what they mean.
Hmm. Yeah, and there's a bit of, I don't know, fearlessness too. I mean, with seeing, because I think most people would see the Mandela effect happening, but some people it freaks them out maybe a little
We're
bit or
like, hey
whatever.
guys, every single one of us, we're like, okay, this is kind of creepy. This is kind of weird. Now what can we do with it? Now
Right.
what how can we use this for good? How can we turn this into a positive? That's the one thing we all have in common here.
Yeah.
We're like, thank God there's other people who are not, just saying, well, my God, if you do get what you focus on,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how your reality is created, then you do not want to be running around going, it's the end of the world, doom and gloom, because that's exactly what you're going to experience while these other people who are running around going, no, it isn't. It's just the event. We're just
Right.
getting ready for, an ascension. That's what they're going to experience. So I'd rather be expecting good
Mm-hmm.
and be disappointed than running around expecting bad, just in case that's how we create. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. And that's why I was glad Moneybags in this recent interview we were just talking about before we went on the air.
Mhm.
You can go to Moneybags 73 and find his most recent upload while he was a guest on the
The
Art
Art
Bell
Bell
Archives.
Archives rebroadcast something
Okay.
like that, where this
Right.
channel, like, it's a big internet channel, but it's a small YouTube channel. Remember, we
Mm-hmm.
found a lot of those,
Yeah.
and it rebroadcasts the best of Art Bell usually. But
That's
this time
awesome
they
too.
had
I
the
love
best
Art
money
Bell.
bags. They had money bags on live.
Yeah, and you can tell the host. I'm not sure his name of that show or whatever, but you can
He
tell
goes
he
by
was
the Rippin' Rabbit. Does that make sense
right.
to you guys? Are you familiar with this channel, the Rippin' Rabbit?
No, is that the name of the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I don't know
So
what his name is.
right, but I was getting at how Moneybag said, not to freak out about it, not to go down that dark path because it can really suck you in, it can freak you out if you're seeing your reality
Yeah.
change. So I was
Yeah.
so glad he said that. It's so important to at least consider it could be a positive thing and not to freak out so much that you get in fear about it. So I
Oh,
really
another good
appreciated
video
that.
to watch. That one that Moneybags just uploaded, and Dark Wolf's Den. Jerry and his partner or his wife, I'm not sure because I haven't met her, Kat, were
Hmm.
playing the Mandela Effect game last night. And
Mm.
they had me in stitches watching them play this game. And it was so hard for them to play. It was super
Hmm.
cool, but super small, just like little card, like a deck of
Are
cards.
they not
Tiny.
coworkers?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh,
I don't want
okay,
to start rumors, but they were
okay, okay.
together and they were playing a
Right.
game.
Yeah,
So
because
I don't.
at the place they both were coworkers, but they weren't. They didn't seem together. So I just wanted to
Oh,
clarify that, just in case,
yeah,
they're not.
because like it looked like their home and a fireplace. So I'm totally off. I'm
Oh,
sorry, Jerry.
that
Forgive me.
sounds like it could be the lobby of the hotel. Maybe
Is
it
that what
was
it's
really nice. It
like? It's a
looked.
beautiful like fireplace in the
It's.
lobby.
I believe so. I wasn't in there very much, but yeah, it is a nice place to sit down, and it
Oh,
would be a perfect place. Was it sort of rustic looking? And
rustic looking.
oh
It looked
yeah,
like
it sounds
the
like the
living
lobby.
room. It looked like we were in Jerry's house.
Right. I think it was probably the lobby of the that hotel. Just
Yes.
just wanted to clarify
We're
that.
not the
Okay.
National Enquirer here. We're definitely not going to gossip about people. But
Right.
they had me in stitches. So he was playing this game with this woman, and they were dealing out Mandela Effect cards, and they had 5 different Mandela effects that had to do with history, music, movies, celebrities. They all had a category. And the fun part was that when they played the game for real, because then they made up their own rules, which was even better. But when they played for real, they had to guess what the other person was going to select. History, celebrities, music, movies, what were you going to guess? And if you guessed right, you got to pick the category to question them on. And if you guessed wrong, they got to pick the category. So
Mm,
playing the game kind of tunes up your psychic perception
right.
because you're trying to guess what your partner's thinking right across from you, which is super cool.
That
Yeah.
is cool. Yeah, and I
But
want to tell people that you can order the game on Amazon, but they
that's
were
one that they
saying you can't
open.
find it if you put Mandela Effect. You have to put Mandela Effect,
Well, this is
with
what's
an
so
A instead of
weird
an
about
E.
it. Go watch Dark Wolf's Den video from last night from playing this game. They've changed the name. It still says Mandela,
Hmm.
but over the E, they've put an A. So technically, it's the Mandala Effect
Exactly.
game, which is just weird because nobody calls it the Mandala
Well,
Effect.
what's funny is like when I did the session with, well, it wasn't the session, but the interview with Angela, who lost her son Christopher, and she was getting communications with
Yep,
him.
I know
That's
Angela.
actually the information she got from him. It was like the Mandela effect. It was,
Like from India, the mandala, the
yeah, the
very
beautiful.
sacred,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. So that was the first time I even heard of a mandala. I didn't even know
Well,
what they
to
were.
play this game, you have to think backwards. And they just kept not being able to do that. And they kept laughing and making me laugh and making whoever was on in the middle of the night or whatever while they were playing this game. On the East Coast, it was quite late, laughing because the correct answer is the wrong way. So you're Mandela affected, you're playing this game. It's asking you if something is a Mandela effect or not. What do you remember?
Mm,
And then to get a point, you have to say what this timeline has changed it to, not how you remember it.
right. It needs to be the current. So,
So to be right, they had to be wrong.
right.
They had to be wrong constantly. And other people, and I was thinking the same thing. I might have commented on it afterwards, and because I didn't catch the live stream, was
Right.
saying, this is programming. This is programming us to understand that the changes are correct and the way we remember it is wrong.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking when you
Because you
said that.
don't
I'm
get a
like, you get the
point.
points for getting the download,
You
basically.
basically get a point for taking the downloads. And
Oh,
oh
Mountain
my
Cat's
God.
here. Hey, what's up? Well, she said, yep, it was the It was the fireplace in the lobby.
Is that Cat?
Yeah, mountain cat.
Mountain Cat, hello. I'm sorry if I said the wrong things to introduce you because I don't know you, but last night I only saw your hands. It was so funny, and I loved watching you play the game. You know, your voice and your comments were just absolutely perfect. I felt exactly the same way Cat felt, that
Yeah,
you had to be wrong to be right, and it's really frustrating because it's hard to make your brain think incorrectly. So
yeah,
they kept wanting to say the right thing, but then they'd have to stop themselves and they'd just start laughing.
right.
You know, they'd be like, I want to say it correctly, but I can't. So how do I think incorrectly?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet Mountain Cat. The first breakfast when we got there, I got to
Did
sit by
you?
her and talk with her, so that was really nice.
Oh, that would have been nice.
So I also want to mention, while we're on the topic, I do have the link below at the top of the description box that tomorrow we're having the grand finale of our Mandela Effect conference online for everybody to join. And it's being hosted by Dark Wolf on his channel. I will be
Fantastic.
simulcasting it here, so if you guys want to come and have your supper chat here, that's totally cool. It'll be available here as well.
What time?
But it's going to be at noon Mountain Time, 1 Central. That turns out to be 2
No.
for you in the East
Okay,
Coast.
two for me. Two for me.
Yeah, and I guess
One central,
11
one for
a.m.
you.
if you're in California, 11 a.m. for our California
11
viewers.
a.m. for California. So 11
Yeah,
a.m. Pacific.
11
Is
a.m.
it
Pacific.
Dark Wolf on Mountain Time in Idaho?
Nope, it's Mountain Time in Idaho.
Because
I
it
thought
just
I would lose
looks like
two
it
hours.
should be Pacific. It looks like,
Yeah,
I looked it up on the map to see where Ketchum was, and
yep.
I'm like, that should be Pacific.
It must change at the border there of
It must be right on the
Idaho
border.
and Washington or whatever. It's up against Washington
Yep.
and Oregon probably. So yeah, I think that's probably somewhere over there is the time zone change. Because I was expecting to lose another hour or gain another
Oh,
hour,
absolutely. Like we
but I
did for
didn't, and I was like,
ESETI.
wait, yeah. So
Oh, well, that was
perfect.
so much fun. So go watch Dark Wolf's Den and Mountain Cat play the Mandela Effect game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they've sold out, so we can't all get one in time for Christmas. But
Oh, they have sold out.
it
I bet they're glad about
they're
that.
sold out on Amazon. Apparently, they said you can still go to the website and get them, but it is expensive for just a playing deck of cards. I think they said it was $10 for the cards plus $6 delivery, so it's $16 for basically a card deck of
Mm,
trivia, Mandela Effect trivia. And some of the Mandela effects not only were not ones that I don't personally remember because I don't judge people, everybody has their own effects.
right.
But some of them were actually questionable effects, like the Dom DeLuise. I'm like, does anybody remember Dom DeLuise ever being Don? And these guys playing were questioning it too. And the people in the chat were like, I don't remember Dom DeLuise ever being Don, as in Donald. He was
Right.
always Dominique or Dominic or something like that.
I'm not even familiar with the name at all.
He's an oldie worldy, not oldie worldy. I mean, my God, we're talking like 1960s comedian,
Hmm.
1950s comedian.
But even Moneybag's newest one about the changes with Zippity Doodah.
Now,
I thought I remembered it Zippity Doodah Zippity Day,
you did? You remember? Okay.
but I could have
Everybody
just
in Dark Wolf's video remembers it the same, which is with the S. We were the opposite of Moneybags. We all remembered it. Mr.
Mr.
Bluebird's
Blue.
on my shoulder.
Right. So everybody just sang it, Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder, and the
Everybody
residue is
sang it,
just
Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. Everybody. He's got so many examples of that. But
yeah.
we figured out that us who all remember Mr. Bluebirds on my shoulder, meaning not possessive,
Is right.
plural, it meant
Like
is.
apostrophe S, like
Mr.
is.
Bluebird is on my shoulder.
Right.
We only remember the song from the Disney film.
Okay. So let me ask you this: was was the pause odd to you?
Oh, the pause was very odd.
Okay, so that was almost
Pause
the
was
Mandela
weird.
effect in itself, wasn't it? Because for me, it was like I don't even
Why
really
is he
remember,
pausing?
but why is there a pause in there? That to me was strange.
I found the pause strange, but the S I found normal because
Yeah,
I only knew the song from the Song of the South. Is that what the movie was called? I saw it in the theaters
I don't know.
with
Right,
Briar
right.
Rabbit, Brer Turtle, all these animals from, it was just really, that's the only way I know the song.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's from, but I did find the pause to be odd, not knowing, not even knowing the song. It's like Mr. Bluebird on my show, or I don't even remember.
Was
It was
there?
just, yeah, yeah, it was just weird. It was just strange. But I
Well,
thought, if that's the only version you were aware of, I wanted to see if it seemed weird to you for being more familiar with
it
it.
felt weird to me, but I only know it from that one song. And it was very strange to try to play this game with them
Hmm.
because, like, if it said how many people were in the JFK car in this timeline, you couldn't say four. You had to say six. You had to train your brain to say what was the opposite of what you knew. So it
Right.
is like, it's like majorly programming.
Yeah, but then the other thing is, some people will say three. They remember three. Some will remember four. So you almost have to have the answer be the current version that you can go check. That's
Oh yeah,
probably
if
maybe
there's
what
like
they ran
multiple,
into.
like if it was when did Nelson Mandela die, for me it was 86, 87, but
Right.
for many people it was 91.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
his real death was in 2013. So that would have been hard to answer unless you
Yeah.
put the current timeline, which is 2013.
That would, I think, would, unless there's
Yeah.
flip flops, that would be.
We think there's some flip flops in there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Cat's
when did
saying
they
that.
print it?
Cat's saying that they have 260 effects.
That's a
There's
lot.
five on each card.
That's a lot. But
Yeah.
Kat, you were saying also that you think Moneybags has more. I think they determined while playing the game that Moneybags has like 340 or 370 or something. How many voting videos does he have?
Yeah. I think on the broadcast they said he was in the 400s, didn't
Ooh.
they? I
So
believe so.
basically, Moneybags, you missed a big money opportunity here. You should have done your videos on playing cards.
Yeah. And like with
I
his,
love
I'm
Moneybags. I
almost
love listening to
always
him.
affected by whatever he shows. If I'm familiar with it, I'm usually right with him. So it's either I'm right with him on remembering something, or I'm just not familiar with the song, or like the
Well,
Bluebird
I
one.
was
I just don't
wondering if
know.
we're like for Soul Family, and
Yeah.
the reason we get along and we're all positive and we're all supportive of each other is that we're from the same similar group. So we share a lot of Mandela effects. I wonder if that's like part of our connection, is that we
Oh
do
my
share.
gosh.
What?
Okay, so you remember their discussion on there about Moneyback 76, right?
Yes, I do.
I just typed in Moneybacks. I was going to see what video is on. I typed in Moneyback 7 and went to put in 3, and it's suggesting 6
Oh, you're kidding.
on
He
YouTube
must
right
know
now.
that. He must know that he's now being suggested as Moneybag 76. I remember him as 76, but he swears he's always been 73. He knows because that's his birth year. If he made his
Yeah,
channel name his birth year, then he is the expert on whether he's been Mandela or not.
right. I'm trying to see voting video number. Normally has a. So yeah, that's that. Oh gosh.
It's not too late, Moneybags. You could still put out the Moneybags Mandela Effect game
Yeah, you
based
should.
on your voting videos. Yeah,
Yeah.
and compete with this one. I would definitely buy the Moneybags version if I had a chance.
Okay, let's see. Voting video 337.
Okay, so they've got 260, right, Mountain Cat?
Yeah.
And he's got 337. There you go. It's a better game option if you buy the Moneybags game. Watch, he's going to go, who started the rumor that I've created a game?
That's
We don't
awesome.
watch what we say here. We really don't.
Nah, we just throw out ideas.
We just throw out ideas.
Awesome. Okay, well, we can get into the.
Meditation. Okay, so I'm doing it on like 4 hours of sleep. I was out at this art fair on 4 hours of sleep the whole day. It was lovely. It was wonderful. I still think I can do a meditation, though, a guided meditation. I think I can. I
Yeah.
know I can.
You're in your happy place.
I'm always in my happy place with you guys. And if I'm not in my happy place, I get there just
Yeah.
by sitting here and chatting with you. It puts me in my happy place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always feel the energy from the crowd, the
I feel the
audience.
energy from the everybody in the chat,
Yeah.
even though I can't see it until like I think an hour after it posts, it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to rewatch the chat and see what everybody was saying.
Oh, that's cool. They're getting quicker about that. I noticed that now
Are
on the
they?
fly they put the closed captioning on the screen on the fly.
Oh,
I don't
oh
know
yeah,
when they
yeah.
started
I
that.
noticed that too.
That's cool.
And it's not always correct, but who cares? I don't want to go in and do my own closed captioning word for word for word. That would take
Right.
like forever. So it's
Yeah.
not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving is next Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Michelle has taught us all how to cook a turkey because I have cooked a turkey once when I made Thanksgiving dinner for my extended family, my whole family, in 1993 or 1994. So
Mm.
I have to be invited to family or friends' houses, or we have to go out and find a suitable Thanksgiving dinner somewhere. I'm just not a cook. I never was a cook. I don't pretend to be a cook. My husband was the cook, and he was a brilliant cook, and he loved it. He loved it. It was like his hobby. It made him, it was his stress reliever, was to get in that kitchen and start making fabulous meals for us.
If
So,
anybody has a Cracker Barrel in your neighborhood, you
oh,
can
I
also go
do,
there. You can go there and you can buy either a ready cooked
to
meal
bring
that you can take
home.
home, or you can get it to where it's all prepared and you just pop it all in the oven and
I
actually,
think I might try that. That would be fun because I don't know.
yeah. I think
Most
it's supposed
restaurants
to
are
feed
open.
10. So if you have like, at least one
Whoa,
of the
that's a
things will
lot.
feed, yeah, and I want to say it was like $125 to feed
Not
10
bad for
people.
10.
No, really. I mean, I
12
think
bucks
you'd
a
spend
piece.
that. I think you'd spend all that. Just forget about the time, but just to go and get all the
And get all the
ingredients.
ingredients would be like 10 bucks a piece, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah.
So,
So
okay,
it does.
I'm gonna put Cracker Barrel out there.
Yeah, I saw it on the news. They did a news bit on it. I was like, hey,
Oh,
that's. He said it comes out to 12 something a person. I'm like, that's not bad at
that's a
all. I
good
mean,
deal. I've actually never eaten in a Cracker Barrel. Isn't that a terrible thing to admit? But it's not my fault. I was in Europe from 1990 to 2012, and where I was before in Chicago, they don't really have a lot of Cracker Barrels up there. Isn't that a
yeah,
southern
they're not
restaurant?
all over. Yeah, they're
No.
not all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. So I still have to have that experience. I still need to go. I have managed to eat at a Perkins though.
I think the one that's ready to eat is for less people, maybe. I don't know. You just have to check it out. Probably
Yeah.
can look on the
Yeah, for a
website or
small
something.
group or something like that.
Hmm.
So my meditation, guided meditation, is it has to do with Thanksgiving. And it's going to be
Attitude
really
of
interesting
gratitude.
to see how you guys take this because our group tends to be the givers and we
Yep.
tend to be the empaths and we tend to heal the earth, heal the world, heal our community, take care of our children, take care of our neighbors, take care of our family. And this is going to be the opposite. This is going to be about receiving and not in a selfish way at all. It's like the people who say you can't give if your cup is empty, you know?
Right.
That
Yeah.
feeling of I need to often receive so that I can keep on giving. It's like the ever ready bunny has got to have those batteries in.
Right. Yeah, that's sort of the philosophy Jose and I had back then is that we're creating this love light filling station. Everybody comes, fills their cup
Yes.
up with joy, and then they can take it out to the
And then
world. So
take
it's,
it out to
it's
the world and spill
yeah,
it around your own world. Yep, yep,
yeah,
yep. So I think I know you guys really lift me up and really fill me up with a lot of not just hope, but just comfort,
yeah.
peace. I feel
Mm-hmm.
peaceful in my group, my tribe,
Definitely.
they call it, right?
Yep, I'm right with you on that one. Okay,
Okay,
there we go.
so we'll do like a Thanksgiving guided meditation if everybody wants to get comfortable.
All right.
I will probably take a drink of water and clear my throat because being tired, it's a little scratchy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back. And if everybody will just get really, really comfortable, relaxed, kind of sit back if you're sitting and be able to be in this position comfortably. You can move if you like for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes at the most. And always start by taking that nice, deep, relaxing breath in and hold it for just a few moments. And when you exhale it out, just let go of all the tension if there is any tension in the body anywhere. Let it go out with the breath. And then take a deep, relaxing breath in, hold it for just a moment. And this time you're going to exhale out any stress from the day, the week, the month, the year. Just let it all go. And then take a deep, relaxing breath in, hold it for a moment, and just let it all out. And now this is when we start to entrain our minds with our hearts by breathing in through our heart and exhaling through our heart. And we're just imagining that we're taking our breath in through our heart center And exhaling again through the heart. And this time, if you like, you can take in a color with the in-breath and let it fill you up, going up the spine and down the spine, filling your body up with a beautiful, healing, cleansing color. And then exhale that color back out. And this time, when we draw in that color, if we choose to, we're going to draw in love and just fill your body up from your toes to the top of your head, down your arms. Just fill your body up with love. And we're going to exhale love into our environment. And on the next breath, take it when it's comfortable for you. We're going to inhale forgiveness. And when you're ready, just exhale forgiveness into your environment, where everybody who comes in contact with you will benefit from your energy. Not that you're giving it away, but they'll feel the joy, they'll sense the peace, and they'll want more of that. They'll want to do what you're doing. Now would be a good time to send a grounding cord down. If you haven't done it already, you can send one down from your root chakra at the base of your spine, which is a spinning, glowing, beautiful, clear, red energy center. And most people use silver or gold, but you can use any color you like and send it down now through your floorboards, through your furniture. Let it go down through the crust. Let it go down through the different layers. Imagine them as your grounding cord seeks the center of the earth. That's the heart of the earth, the core of the earth. And when it gets there, it just spreads out in all directions, rooting you firmly to earth. And now we're just going to imagine holding hands in a joy-filled, kind of celebratory, early Thanksgiving celebration, just holding hands together. And we're going to imagine being with people that we love. See their faces, hear their voices. What would you be doing? Maybe it's the Thanksgiving dinner coming up, or some other kind of Hanukkah celebration, or Diwali, or the light celebration, depending on where you are in the world and what your religious and family beliefs are. Just imagine experiencing the joy and the love that you get when you all come together to share an experience with loved ones. And now we're going to start to intend together that we are opening ourselves up to receiving. You don't have to open yourself up very far. You can open yourself up to the level that you're comfortable with. So now just imagine receiving love. That's all. Just receive that love from loved ones, from pets, from children. Maybe you're receiving love from neighbors, colleagues at work, friends. Just be comfortable with receiving love. Now just imagine receiving joy. Go ahead and receive that joy. It's something special, something that makes you tick. It's something on earth here now, whatever shape that earth is, doesn't matter. And whether it's a hologram or multidimensional, doesn't matter. Whether it's a simulation, doesn't matter. Just imagine receiving joy. What is it that makes your heart sing? Is it painting, dancing, singing, working with children, working in a garden, helping people out? Work, maybe your work actually brings you your greatest joy after your family and loved ones. Go ahead and receive joy in that special way that means something special to you. And now when you're ready, we won't rush it. Allow yourself to receive healing. Whatever that means to you. You know, it could be a creaky knee or neck or elbow. It could be maybe, who knows? I'm not going to start listing things off so that we all start to imagine that we're experiencing them. Whether it's a tummy ache, indigestion, whatever it is, imagine yourself receiving healing and be okay with that. Know that that's a good thing. It brings you a sense of ease, a sense of comfort, a sense of feeling of peace. Go ahead and allow yourself to receive the healings that you deserve. And now, when you're ready, allow yourself, imagine allowing yourself to receive abundance, plenty, prosperity, success. Don't think of it in terms of money and dollars and cents and how you measure that in a bank account or a credit card. Imagine what that would translate into experiences. What would that allow you to do? By allowing yourself to receive abundance and plenty, prosperity, what would you do differently? Where would you do it differently? How would you do it differently? Go ahead and see yourself just open to abundance. And now, when you're ready, if you like, imagine yourself receiving gnosis, understanding, whether that connection you'd like to make it right now with your higher self that knows a lot. Basically, everything that needs to be known is already resting there with your higher self, your higher consciousness. Or maybe you'd like to make that connection now with your guides and loved ones, departed loved ones. Maybe you'd like to make that connection of receiving knowledge, understanding with angels. Or maybe it's through Jesus, through Christ, through Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad. And of course, maybe it's through God, making that connection to source energy. Maybe you want to go straight to source energy the way they do in theta healing. And allow yourself to just receive understanding, gnosis, so that as things come up and as you're challenged with this amazing, miraculous matrix that we find ourselves in together, that you have some understanding of it in an internal way through meditation, through prayer, through mindfulness, through compassion, through love, through your altruistic nature to give to others, to help others, to love others, to heal others, to take care of others. And we're going to go silent now for 3 minutes. And in that time, just allow yourself to receive, be open to receiving whatever it is you need most now. So now, before you come back and open your eyes and start to stretch, just give thanks for all of the love and light and understanding and prosperity and bounty that you have received already. And in giving that thanks and gratitude, know that you are making room for more, and you are filling up the cup so that the cup can give nourishment and nurturing to others. And you can let go of your grounding cord if you like, or you can stay attached if you like. You can open your eyes and start to move your neck and your head, kind of stretch your shoulders, move your shoulders around, your arms, your legs, and come back.
Beautiful.
I was very, very tearful. I felt very emotional during that one.
Felt very peaceful to me.
Very peaceful. I felt
Very
like
peaceful
we did
and
the
loving.
study when we did it together, 50 of us in a room. I felt like that tonight, like we were actually all together in the same room.
That's when we had to keep making the circle bigger. Was
That
more and
was the
more
biggest
people
circle
joining
I've
in.
ever seen in my life.
It was completely unplanned. It's sort of like we just headed there and like we're going to do that, and people were like okay, and we got a line of people headed that way.
Remember, we were going to do it outside in the Palladian Circle, and it was too windy, so we
Right.
just had them open up the barn. But yeah, I felt like we were together, like we were actually physically together in the same spot, as well as emotionally and spiritually.
Yeah.
I felt a
And
real physical connection.
and we have each other. I mean, that's huge reason to be thankful for having that attitude of gratitude. I'm
Attitude.
thankful for each and every one of you guys, and of course you, Eileen, and
So grateful for you, Shane, and for everybody that
hmm
makes all of this possible, this connection.
yeah, Kat saying, yep, I mentioned the Q&A panel tomorrow. I do have that link below, so you can head on over to Dark Wolf's Den. He is hosting the event. I will be simulcasting it here, of course, as well. So I will have that link to jump over there. But she's saying there is a Discord server as well.
Oh
So
yeah, I haven't been on Discord since my uni rock days when he did Discord. I didn't get on with it very well myself, but I'm kind of new to Twitter and stuff, so that's
yeah.
just me and my techie. So is Dark Wolf Den going to be broadcasting it as well on Discord?
Uh,
Do you think
what does she
maybe?
say here? There's a Discord server that we created so the attendees can keep in touch. I guess it's to
Oh, that's
keep in touch
cool.
after it. But I don't know. Maybe if they have it there, that'd be an excellent place for those who have Discord to post their questions, and
That's cool.
you can use voice on there too.
That's
So
a
I don't.
forum. It's like a
Yeah.
forum, isn't it?
Well, I just use it for notifications. I don't do anything else on it. And it's just to provide another way for people that don't get the notifications on
Yeah, I'm not
YouTube
really good with it. I'm
to
okay with
hopefully.
YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I try to send out notifications on Twitter and Discord for every show. Of course, I do forget every now and then, but um, yeah, that's sort of the main way I do that. But
They
that's
know
really
what
all I use
time
it
we're
for.
here. They know where we are. If they want to find us, they can.
Yeah,
We
and
seem to
and
have our regulars here.
yeah, and if you go to uotf.net, it will give you the time of upcoming shows and your own time zone, which I love that. So you can see the schedule. You can see if you want to plan to come join the live stream. You can go to uotf.net. It's
And
on the
they're all
bottom of the
there
screen.
for the whole
Yeah,
week. They're all
yeah.
there for the whole week. And then there's you've
5
got a
shows
chat
it
room.
gives.
We can go in
Gives
and chat with each other on different
right.
topics.
Yeah, and it's private, so you can go into the forum and leave your comments, and we have different categories, and I think it's a great place for people who want to have a meetup in your area.
Oh yeah,
It's a great place to go and be able to share your email or whatever privately, so that
privately.
you're not putting it in the chat here for somebody to see. So you can go
Oh,
there. Yeah, and there's already been some people that's posted their area and said, "Hey, I'm looking to have a get together here." So definitely check that out. You might find someone
yeah.
that's already in your area, or you can
And isn't
post your
Dark
own.
Wolf Cat also doing something on an internet site where people can put their own meetups? They can post it on his internet site for the conference.
Maybe so. I'll have him mention that
Yeah, he
tomorrow
said
just
that
to make
there's somewhere
sure.
you can go and say, "Hey, we're having a meetup in, you know, Tallahassee."
Mm. I wonder if that's on the Mandela Effect site. That's actually mandelaeffectconference.com. That's
Okay.
also below there. Uh,
I think that's where he said if you want to use that to draw in more people for a meetup.
yeah, mandelaeffectconference.com. So that's probably where that's the only place that makes sense to me to have it. But
And utof.net. You can do your meetups in there too. But that'll be
mm,
more of a community meetup. It'll be like we did at SETI, where
yeah,
it was more of a unbiased and on the fence meetup with 100 people, right?
right,
As opposed to it wasn't really a Mandela Effect conference, but when we got there, it kind of felt like one and it felt like a private meetup. It felt like both, you know.
yeah. That's funny because actually had a dream that I was scheduled to. We had a meetup, but it was supposed to be a conference, and I didn't prepare for it, and um, I was one of the presenters there, and I kept getting told in this dream, "Don't worry about preparing anything; it'll be fine." And I was thinking it would just come to me, but it ended up just turning into a meetup with no conference, just like we talked.
Which is
So I
kind
don't
of
know.
what we did at ESETI, but we met up privately in little groups and then we met up in bigger groups. So without
Yeah,
scheduling anything, we still had meetups, didn't we?
yeah, and people could come and go. Some people were hanging out on the couch in the house and just chatting in
And
there,
the
and some
pit,
people
the
were
fire pit.
singing around the,
Oh,
yeah,
and
and
the
then all the,
drum tent, the
yeah,
music tent, right?
yeah, yeah,
So somehow the conference elements just created themselves as we went through the weekend, didn't they?
right, yeah. But I found that at the conferences I've gone to, people enjoy the in between parts where they can actually
That's what
communicate
we
and
said.
talk and meet people and all that,
And relax and chit chat.
right. And
And
then
we had
it's sort of like,
plenty of
oh,
that.
we gotta go sit down and be quiet again. Not that people didn't enjoy the speakers, we enjoyed it, but people do love that time of being able to just talk and
Connect,
yeah,
share stories.
fellowship, as they
And we
say.
had that, but then every night we had the Isetti night watch. What was that called? At 10 or 10:30, everybody would go outside.
No,
Skywatch.
Skywatch,
The
yeah,
Skywatch party. So we all had somewhere to focus on
yeah,
going out to see UFOs
yeah.
until 3 in the morning. I always gave up the ghost at 3 in the morning, and you guys are still out there.
Yeah, I stayed out that first night. I stayed out there all night, and then caught the time lapse of because I was
I
thinking, well, if it's
remember.
cloudy, I don't want to miss anything. If it's like this, might be down. It was so clear and beautiful, I didn't want to miss
You
anything.
didn't
But
want to miss it,
it was a blast. And the next night we had that huge storm too.
which
So
was amazing in itself.
yeah,
It's a
it
great
was.
experience itself. But that,
But
Shane, you were going on no sleep. And
right,
you don't
right.
even drink coffee, do you? So I don't know. You were just going on sheer love,
Well,
love power.
I definitely have my caffeine. I keep handy.
Oh, that way. Oh no, you got to drink it in like a freshly ground coffee bean to really enjoy it.
Well, for me, it's like I like the sugar, and then I get the sugar crash if I guess if I drank it
Yeah, see, I
black,
don't use sugar, but I do use cream or milk now because otherwise I get an upset tummy from black coffee. There's
oh,
just
okay,
too much acid in it. But I don't do the sugar, but then the cream and the milk has sugar in it, natural sugar.
yeah. I need the dose to be right. And when my
That's so
wife
interesting.
makes coffee, she kind of wings it, so it's either I'm jittery or it's
Oh
not
yeah, I
enough.
totally wing it. It's like you get a really strong one that eats the spoon when you put it in there. It comes up as a knife, or a really weak one, and you're like, "Oh, this is so Weasley. Why did I even make this?"
Right.
I just wing it.
So for me, it's to cut out the sugar and to make sure the dose is right. It's just easier to take a pill.
Interesting. Well,
All
I'm
right.
gonna start doing that with melatonin now because my sleep is all over the place, people. I'm not getting personal here, but when you're talking about ascension effects and ascension symptoms on
Yeah.
Tuesday with Michelle, I'm
Hmm.
like, mine is just sleep. My sleep is all over the place. It's crazy now.
Yeah. It can
I'm
feel
awake in the
so
middle of
heavy
the night.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
say
then
just go with the flow. Your body knows what it needs, and
go with the flow. I could be
yeah,
asleep at 4 in the afternoon as long as my work's done, or 4 in the morning. There's no rhyme or reason anymore. And I don't think that's just an age thing because it's a very new thing for me. It's just started happening within the last like month or two. And I
yeah,
feel like it's an energetic shift for me.
yeah. Yeah, like I had like a 30-minute nap before the love stream last night. I just felt so tired. I'm like, I'll just take a little nap.
Yeah.
Had that, and then I ended up staying up until Well, I remember seeing 333 on the clock, so I was
Me
up.
too.
To, yeah.
Last night, I think I saw 444. I remember that too. And I'm
Yeah.
just listening to the love stream that I slept through because I was asleep from 9 till midnight and
Hmm.
woke up for the post show where I listened to the whole love stream after that. The
Oh,
whole
very
three and
nice.
a half hours. It was a long one. It was
It
great.
was a long one. Yeah, it went by so fast. I was so enjoying our conversation
I
about the
was
Bible and
fascinated
everything.
by the whole thing. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great to just listen to. I'm learning so much.
Yeah. Yeah. And April's so knowledgeable, and she brought up some things that I'm like, oh, that's weird. That's sure is. That was a weird scripture, wasn't it? The
Yeah, the whole
kingdom of
thing was
God and the
weird. I'm like, are these
kingdom and all that.
Mandela effects or are they just,
Yeah.
scripture's been changed so many times by so many people, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, read the Nag Hammadi texts, read the Gnostic Gospels that
Yes.
have been removed by the church, and read the Dead Sea Scrolls if you want to get down to the real stuff.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a whole host of gospels that weren't included. There's way more than the
Yeah.
four. And I really enjoyed the Nag Hammadi text. It is so, even like little things, like wherever it says father in the Bible, there it says father, mother. I
Oh,
love that. I love how it.
I'm not even going to get into this now because it's 9:52, but maybe next week I did some research on when did we lose the father mother god.
uh,
And I've actually found a program that I can tell you guys about to watch, and there is a date. There
oh,
is a
okay.
date where we lost the mother father god.
What is the date?
It's
What's the
around the
situation?
900 BCs.
Oh, wow.
Because there's I'll get the name of it. It's not the Bible Code. That's a really good documentary, but I'm exploring the documentaries, and this woman did the Unknown Bible
Oh, okay.
by going into the Nag Hammadi texts and the Dead Sea Scrolls and the history to find out what parts of the Bible do we not know about. And
Mm-hmm.
what she found out was that there was Asherah
Mm-hmm.
was the wife or mother god with El,
No.
who became
Yahweh El?
Elohim, who
Okay.
became Yahweh. Yes,
I
Yahweh
see.
El.
Mm-hmm.
And her name was Asherah. I know
Mm-hmm.
nothing about this, but I'm studying it, and I'm like, this is fascinating because I named for me. And she was
Mm-hmm.
mother goddess, just like ancient Egypt had mother god, father god.
Mm-hmm.
Mesopotamians had mother god, father god.
Well, I think this is actually father mother. It's still one entity, but androgynous is how
Well,
I
it
took
was
it.
actually, she said, had both the feminine and the male
Mm.
qualities, the mother father god or the father mother god. And it was fascinating because she traced it to different periods of time based on what historically happened in the Abrahamic world. So
Mm-hmm.
when the Abrahamic, they would be Jews at that time, it would be before Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
refused to pay their taxes to Babylon. The Mesopotamians, who were mostly from Assyria and Syria, came and sacked Jerusalem.
Mm.
So that's when they leveled the temple to the ground, and they established kind of their gods there.
Mm.
And the Abrahamic reaction was, oh my God, our God has forsaken us. What did we do wrong? Oh, let's get rid of Asherah. Let's get rid of the female. And then it became the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost later with the Christianity. It
Mm-hmm.
became completely male.
It's amazing what you find with just a little research. Like I was blown away that the whole idea of the Bible being inerrant, which was huge growing up. Like the Bible does not have any errors in it. That was all a 1900s creation. You can't find anything about that before then.
No. And
Yeah.
when were the 14, was it the 14 Gnostic texts were removed in something like 1650, 1648, 1667? Did you get that number?
Right before we had that the
King James Bible,
1621.
yeah. Or was that the 1500s?
I guess it was right before is it 1621? I can't ever remember the
Something
date. I
like
think
that. It's in the
yeah.
1600s
Yeah.
that they took out several books and said, nope, those are
Mhm.
way too heretical, even though they'd been in the Bible up
Right.
to the 1600s.
Yeah.
And if they were good enough to be in the Bible that long, then
Right.
I don't see why they needed to take them out, but they did.
Right. Yeah, because I remember looking at that date, and when I was looking at when we started using the term couch for a sofa or something,
Yep.
because now the word couch is in the Bible, and that was something else, which I'm not really sure about that information about the couch because it was named
It
after a guy
doesn't
at
seem
a
like it
couch.
should be in there. But then somebody said unicorn was in the Bible, and I'm like, I'm sure unicorns shouldn't be in the Bible, right?
I love it.
And aliens are in the Bible, and
Yep.
unicorn. I don't know. Don't
Yep.
quote me because I haven't actually looked
Yeah.
it up
And
myself.
Matrix
Is
has,
Matrix in the Bible?
yeah, the word womb has been swapped out for Matrix. Now tell me that isn't an eye
Whoa,
opener.
that's
That's
super
huge. You come
Mandela.
out the womb, you come into the Matrix through the womb. That's huge.
Yeah, something's playing with us here. This is
I love
something.
it.
I do too.
It's exciting.
It is really interesting. But look that up, and I'll get the name of the documentary for next week if you guys want to kind of
Yeah.
find it somewhere and
Yeah.
watch this woman go through the Abrahamic history to find where did they lose the feminine aspects along the way.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so
Before we
much for a
go.
wonderful meditation.
Thank
Thanks for being
you.
here. Lots of love and light to all of you guys in the chat and watching here later. Be sure you join us for the Q&A panel
We'll
tomorrow.
definitely be tuning in tomorrow.
Awesome.
Oh, and have a
Later.
great Thanksgiving. And
Oh,
we'll see
yeah,
you
yeah.
next Saturday.
Yes, have a great Thanksgiving. Peace.
Cool. Mwah. Bye, guys.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.